Welcome to the wisdom of time. Have you ever walked through the historic center of an old city? Perhaps the winding cobblestone streets of Rome, the intricate alleyways of Kyoto, or the warm brick avenues of Boston, and felt a sudden, inexplicable sense of peace? There is a rhythm to these places. The buildings seem to speak to one another. They possess a texture and a scale that feels distinctively human. Now contrast that feeling with a walk through a modern financial district or a sprawling suburban commercial zone. Surrounded by towering walls of glass and flat gray concrete, you might feel a subtle anxiety, a sense of alienation, or simply a profound boredom. Why is there such a stark difference? Why do we pay thousands of dollars to vacation in towns built 500 years ago, yet rush to escape the environments we build today? For thousands of years, humanity understood a secret language of architecture. We built settlements that were complex, beautiful, and scaled to the body of a walking person. But in the last century, something fundamental, something vital shifted in the human consciousness. We stopped building for people. We began building for machines. Take a moment to look around the room you are in or the street you are walking down. Does the space nourish you, or does it drain you? The transition to what we call modernism was not merely a change in fashion, like swapping wide lapels for skinny ties. It was a total philosophical rejection of the wisdom our ancestors accumulated over millennia. In the early 20th century, influential architects and theorists declared that ornament was a crime. They believed that history was a burden. They argued that the street-level experience, the very place where human connection happens, should be sacrificed for the efficiency of the automobile and the abstract beauty of the skyline. Pioneers of this movement, like the famous Le Corbusier, famously imagined cities as machines for living. They dreamed of tearing down traditional, messy, vibrant neighborhoods and replacing them with isolated towers set in vast, empty parks. On paper, this vision was hygienic, it was efficient, it was orderly, but reality is not a blueprint. While these designs were intended to liberate humanity, they often ended up creating spaces that are psychologically draining. Think about the last time you stood next to a massive glass skyscraper. There is nothing for your eye to latch onto. No intricate carving, no variation in texture, no shadow play. Prosture, no shadow play. Prosture is empter. My teen the tempter frostre aberration. My teen the tempter frostre aberration, 9 significant in such places. Studies in environmental psychology have begun to confirm what our intuition has told us for decades. Humans react negatively to blank walls and repetitive industrial patterns. Our brains are products of nature. We evolved in forests and savannas, environments rich with visual complexity and fractal patterns. We crave details. When we are denied this visual nutrition, when we are force-fed the visual equivalent of plain white bread, our cortisol levels rise. We experience increased stress and a profound sense of boredom. But the problem runs deeper than just the facades of our buildings. It is woven into the very way we map out our lives. Today, the way we build is heavily dictated by zoning laws and rigid building codes that mandate the separation of uses. This bureaucratic approach has led to the death of the walkable street. In the cities of old, you might find a bakery next to a carpenter with apartments above and a plaza nearby. Life was mixed, life was messy, life was together. Today, we have massive single-use zones. We have places where you only sleep, places where you only work, and places where you only shop. And these zones are connected not by paths for human feet, but by highways for steel machines. This design forces us apart. It isolates us in boxes, cutting the threads of community that once bound us together naturally. However, there is hope on the horizon. We are beginning to wake up from this century-long slumber. There is a growing movement of people, architects, planners, and citizens like you, who want to bring back beauty, craftsmanship, and human-scale urbanism. We are beginning to realize that beauty is not a luxury for the wealthy. Beauty is a fundamental human need. It is essential for our mental health and our social well-being. By looking back at what made traditional cities successful, the narrow streets that slow us down, the varied facades that delight the eye, and the natural materials that age with grace, we could begin to chart a new course. We can build cities that nourish the soul once again. Architecture should not be a monument to the ego of the designer or the efficiency of the spreadsheet. Architecture should serve humanity. It should be a backdrop for the drama of our lives, not an obstacle to living them. If you believe that our world needs more beauty and more wisdom, please subscribe to the Wisdom of Time. Together, let us rediscover the truths that history has left behind.